Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Kingdom Rush YouTube live stream. Except it's not really so much about Kingdom Rush gameplay for this particular live stream. Yes, what you see right here in front of you, ladies and gentlemen, is a hero design about Abraham, the disciple of Yor, and his backstory. Now, for those of you who are unaware, this is a type of content that was basically pioneered by and pretty much monopolized by King Rexy. So shout out to him. He's my main man, and got to give him a lot of props and respect for the amount of just time and effort he's taken to review every single submission by tons of different, people throughout the Kingdom Rush community, and basically, just pour so much life and effort into these stories. Sergeant S saying, "Hey, yo, love me some hero designs." Well, yes, that is what we're doing in today's live stream. I am finally going to review a hero design that was sent to me by King Rexy himself. Now, I was initially reluctant to do this, just simply because of the fact that I'm not used to doing hero design reviews. There's a lot of different heroes within the Kingdom Rush franchise that we already have, and I just didn't know how to go about balancing it myself. But we were talking about what we could do as a potential collab video, and basically we came up with this idea. We were going to each create our own heroes and send them to one another. So Rexy's going to be doing a review of one of my hero designs here pretty shortly at some point. Maybe not this week, but at the start of next week, some point around there. But in any case, let's not waste any more time. And this person who said hello 3 times in the chat, hello, welcome to the live stream. I heard you the first two times. You're going to hear a lot of grammar mistakes in my sentences today. I literally just got home from work. In any case, let's go ahead and get started. Waste no more time because we have a lot to read. I am a bit of a speed reader. I read quickly, so try and keep up. Abraham, the disciple of Yor, backstory from a journal found by a wandering paladin. October 31st in the year of our Lord 1321. Those damn priests, they think that my method of spreading the will of God is wrong. They were too blind to see the true nature of him. His true wishes for the world of the mortals were altered in the sacred books. Nobody believes me. They think that I am a heretic. Well, their fate is sealed. I murdered them as if they were a herd of sheep. It was satisfying, but now I must flee to another town to avoid being caught. My lord called to me on one faithful night. I can still remember his words clearly. I just realized the mouse is pointing invertedly. Lol. XD. I must flee to another town to avoid being caught. My lord called to me on one faithful night. I still can remember his words clearly. Young Abraham, awake, for I have chosen you, and you alone. My eyelids fluttered as the sun gently beat down on them. I lay flat on the ground, my neck and legs being gently tickled from behind by soft grass. I clambered to my feet in a dazed mess, squinting as I surveyed the foreign landscape around me. A gentle afternoon breeze danced between the lively grass blades, trees stood in mighty unison along the field's edge, and a faint roar of ocean waves wafting up from the rocky cliff's edge, and there at the peak of a hill, and on the edge, an elegant church stood towering over the tallest trees in all of its own monolithic glory. It was magnificent, a scene crafted by the hands of an artist, by the hands of God. Mesmerizing to the eyes and addictive to the mind, I was seduced by the siren's song, brought to tears over the heavenly beauty. I was unworthy. Surely this sight is too divine for dirtied eyes like mine, I murmured to myself, the breeze rising to a strong draft. Ominous clouds swirling above the chapel, congealing into throbbing static bulbs. Surely I stand unworthy of such blessings, drenched in the stench of sin and blood, I cried to the heavens, my voice carried by the howling winds drifting off into the stormy ocean waves. Almost feeding off my words, the clouds only grew larger, threatening to carry me off with its howling winds. Surely this is a divine joke, a punishment for my hubris on earth, my final atonement for my crimes. As the words left my mouth, I crumpled to the ground in a depressive mess. The gale grew into a thunderous tempest, viciously twisting and turning within itself. I raised my head towards the amalgamation of clouds and looked deep into them, deep into myself, and there in the clouds of my soul, I saw him. I saw God. In an endless abyss he appeared before me. Heads of the world's beasts, birds, and fish alike protruded from him, all crying, chirping, and howling in shared agony. The ball of meat convulsed and squirmed, almost tearing itself apart from the inside out as the animals tried to escape from their fleshy prison. Fear me not, my child, the heads of the animals spoke together, their voices combining into an angelic tone. We chose you and only you, young Abraham, the voice reassured me. Chose me for what? What could I offer to God? Who is all? I cried out, tears streaming down my face. The voice simply laughed at the question back at me, the heads all yipping and cackling to each other. We chose you. You need not know more, mortal. Come to us and receive our blessing. They finished fading into the abyss as quickly as they came. There were no more words to be shared. I understood my purpose and where to find him. The grand church on the hill shall have my answers. I blinked my eyes and was back in the field again, only this time soaring far above it. From the eyes of an eagle, I was shown the landscape in its natural awe. The storm had passed and the sun shined once more on the flowery fields and swaying trees of God's home. The bird took me through the winding forest paths, through the rocky outlooks, through the shady hamlet I called home, and to the shack where I slept. I awoke in cold sweats, the beads dripping down and off my head, soaking the dirtied rags that I slept on. My hair sloshed over my face as I climbed out of bed. Could that have just been a dream? It all felt so real, I refused to believe it wasn't. I didn't have a dream, but it must have been a vision instead. I had to keep faith in that, like the faith I had in him. God spoke to me. What more proof did I need? Before the morning sun could smile over the small town again, I was already long on my pilgrimage to the Holy Lands. With an old backpack against my back and a thick black leather cloak covering my body, I trotted off into the forest that I had seen while on the wings of the bird. I hardly thought about the length of the trip or hardships I might face along the way. I just held on to the hope that he would guide and shield me through the danger ahead. I pressed on into the dark and foreboding tree line, taking my first steps towards enlightenment and last steps of my lowly life as a mere street rat and thief. I was on a mission to become the voice of God in this world, the Messiah of divine justice, the crux of truth. Okay, I'm not going to lie. I love this story so far. It's very wordy, but there's a lot more to read. And while I am a fast reader, this is going to take forever. Oh my god. So, I would love to go over the rest of the story with you guys. However, I will be kind of leaving this up for you guys to scroll through later on, or Rexy can share it with you guys if you guys want to. Just leave a comment down in the comments section below or inside of the live chat, and we can end up sending you the script for this document so you guys can go over the story yourselves. I don't want to waste too much time on just reading it throughout the entirety of this story. It's a lot to read. But without a shadow of a doubt, this guy, look at the reference image of Abraham. What a badass. Look at the staff. Look at the cloak. Look at the hood. Look at his clawed hand. It's almost like he's trying to physically grasp something he cannot hold. Also, Sogiamo, hi, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. This guy is incredible. I love the reference image. I don't know where he got it from, probably Google Images, but seriously, this just conveys the image of this dark priest, this warrior monk of sorts, if you will. And it's incredible just how much detail that they poured into this guy's story, which is crazy. And it's saying he's the disciple of Yor. Now, I'm going to take it that Yor is the name of the person he was just speaking with in the story. I don't want to spoil too much. But let's go ahead real quick, and just to make some progress on the live stream, let's go ahead and move on to the statistics here. So, levels 1 through 10. So, this person provided an entire chart of stats. Well, I shouldn't say this person. King Rexy, because this is his hero design, provided an entire chart of statistics. So, starting with level 1, he only starts off with 330 health, which is pretty low, but look at the damage type. It's magic, and it's actually insanely high already for just a magic hero. The attack speed's 1.2, movement speed's 3, it pretty much stays at 3 throughout most of it. Now, it goes up to 3.5, and then the respawn rate pretty much stays consistent, but at level 10, it does get a little bit of a buff. 18 seconds instead of 20 at level 10, so that is interesting to know, but the attack speed does stay the same. Look at the magic damage, though. Dear God. This is insane. Now, notice here that it says his melee damage is 2 times lower than his range damage, or 22 to 55. His range for his ranged attacks is the same as Azra. His attack rate gets reduced to 1 second when in melee mode. So instead of 1.2 at range, he gets 1 second in melee mode. But he deals physical damage while in melee mode. So whatever his damage level is, basically here, it's basically halved. So that is interesting to note as of right now. We've got the regeneration at 2 seconds, although it does increase the amount of HP that it does go up by. And then we've also got the magic resistance. So not only does this hero deal magic damage, but it also has magic resistance, which is insane. So it starts off with none, and at level 3 it gains a little bit, and by the time it gets up to level 10, it's almost pretty much at medium magic resistance, which is just absolutely insane. The innate ability is named Draining Aura. When an enemy stands too close to Abraham within a range of 100, his armor magic resistance will get drained by 4 points every 2 seconds. If the enemy gets out of radius of the ability, his armor magic resistance returns back to normal. The range is half of Mortimus's Grim Presence ability. So it's kind of like a more buffed version of Mortimus's Grim Presence ability, which for those of you who are unfamiliar with Mortimus, is a hero from Kingdom Rush Vengeance. He's the Eternal Lich King, and basically his gimmick is that he summons zombies from nearby fallen enemy troops. But he also has an ability that you can upgrade 3 times, where you can reduce the stats of resistances of all enemy types when maxed out by 1 bar, which is basically a third of their resistance gone. So Abraham seems to have a smaller range for this. However, it drains it by 4 points every 2 seconds. So it's kind of like a combination of Mortimus's ability just to simply remove resistances over time, along with Azra's ability to just kind of wear down at least physical armor. Now, unfortunately, she can't take away magic resistance, but this is kind of what makes this man, I forgot the name of the hero already. I feel horrible. Abraham, thank you. This is what happens when you have the memory of Dory from Finding Nemo. But yeah, basically, it seems to be a combination of Mortimus's Grim Presence ability combined with Azra's ability to break down enemy armor from a distance. The difference is, you got to be much closer in order for this guy to use it, and its mechanic is kind of weird in that it does return to normal, like Mortimus's is. When Azra breaks the attack, or I shouldn't say, when Azra breaks the armor on enemies with her attacks over time slowly, they stay broken. But with this guy, it does return to normal if they get out of range of his draining aura ability. Now let's go on to the next ability. Name Yours Hound. Cooldown 20 seconds. Description. Abraham will chant an ancient prayer that will summon a hound from Yours dimension. The creature will stay on the path blocking and fighting enemies for 6, 8, or 12 seconds. So those are the 3 tiers there. Yours Hound is unable to be repositioned. So yeah, as would be expected with any hero that summons different units, you're going to get units that are just stable in one specific area. Their aggro range might be larger than wherever it is that they're currently stationed at. So they do have a measure of being able to cover all the different sublanes on a path, obviously. But unfortunately, wherever it ends up being spawned, it's just going to stay there until it's aggroed onto a particular enemy. And then the hero points cost goes up by 1 each tier that you upgrade it. So it starts at 1, then 2 for the second tier, then 3 for the next. And as far as their health is concerned, it starts off at 180, and it goes all the way up to 260. So I believe that's somewhat comparable to like a Demon Hound, I think, at a lower level if you're playing on like casual or normal. But the armor rating does go up quite substantially, 25% all the way up to 40%. The damage type is physical, good attack speed, and it goes up to 50 damage on the high end at tier 3. Onder, welcome to the stream. Onder, welcome to the stream. Sub. Hope you're doing well, my man. Here's the reference image of Yours Hound. Look at this thing. This thing's badass. It's kind of like, think of a Demon Hound, but also with like the wings of a Demon Imp from Kingdom Rush 1. I really like this image. It's very, very good. Love the horns. Love the teeth, the snarling teeth. Eyes are a bit slanted, though. I'm not sure how I feel about that. And the hair looks kind of interesting, but I won't question it. And then you got the tail, of course. The tail. Every demon typically has a tail. Not all of them, but most do. But those wings, man, those intimidating, fearsome, big-ass wings. My God. You'd love to see that thing just flying or hovering over you. It would be cool, though, if Yours Hound was able to be microed around and he could just, like, fly across the battlefield or just... that would be so cool. But, you know, you can't have everything in one particular ability or it would just be too overpowered. The next one, speaking of which, is Soul Drinker. Now, this is a passive ability. And whenever an enemy dies near Abraham, 300 or the same range as the Deep Devil's Reef Tower, he will absorb a portion of their souls, healing for 2%, 3%, or 5% of their max health. After enough souls are absorbed, he receives a blessing from Yor. Okay, I'm not going to lie. I don't fully understand this ability, and maybe it's just because of the verbiage, but it sounds to me like... Okay, it sounds to me like it's meant to be a healing ability. So for up to 5% of their max health, he heals himself if you keep upgrading the ability. So I think that's what it means. And after enough souls are absorbed, he receives a blessing from Yor. Abraham cannot absorb more than 5 souls at a time. After consuming 66 souls, Abraham will get the ability to teleport across the map. What? Is this what the blessing from yours referring to? Oh my god. So he basically gains the ability of Magnus Spellbane to just teleport across the map, on top of being able to heal himself every time an enemy dies near him. That's insane. Which, it's kind of like Mortimus's ability as well, where every time he attacks an enemy, he not only deals damage to that enemy, but then part of that health or damage that he deals to them comes back to him as a health orb. So the animation, if you pay attention to it, it's kind of weird, but it's pulling an orb towards himself, and that's the health from the enemy that he's pulling. But then you will notice that the health bar on that enemy that Mortimus is attacking will go down. So I wonder if the animation for this hero, if it ever were to be made, would be similar in that regard, if it works the same way. And then the hero points for this cost 1, 1, and then 2. Reference image of Soul Drinker. I don't know that you necessarily need an image reference for all abilities. I think it's cool, but realistically speaking, unless like the animation itself were to like reappear above or near the enemy that was being targeted, I'm not sure how that would fit in or work, in all honesty. But I definitely like the image. It's very cool, very, very intimidating. Should have called it like Soul Stare or something. That would be cool. Name of the next ability. Now this is called Meteor Doom. Cooldown of 18 seconds. Oh boy. So we got a Tenchi-like ability here. Description. When 2 or more enemies enter Abraham's range, he will cast a meteor storm, causing 5, 7, or up to 9 meteorites to fall down, striking all enemies in a circular shape, and dealing 20, 40, or 75 true damage per meteor. The AoE of the ability is similar in size to... English, hi. As Captain Blackthorn's release the Kraken ability. And enemies can get damaged by multiple meteors. There is a 0.2 second delay between each meteor. Oh, wow, that's pretty fast. So they all kind of fall in close proximity. King Rexy, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. He's saying, I added that because I was I added that because it was a special hero design. Oh, okay. Spelling. The hero points cost actually goes down as you upgrade the tiers, starting off with 3 and then reducing down to 1 at tier 3. So that's cool. Love the reference image of the Meteor Doom. I love this. This is just so cool. However, if it's 0.2 second delay, all of these should be in much closer proximity. Yeah, added them. Yeah, I was going to say. Next ability. Name is the Curse of the Oblivion. Description. Abraham will curse an enemy, causing him to catch on fire. The enemy receives 100 to 150 to up to 215 true damage over 5 seconds. If the target dies while being on fire, it will explode, dealing up to 350 magic damage to nearby enemies. If an enemy survives the explosion, they will catch on fire again. Oh my god. Oh. Okay, I understand the cooldown is 45 seconds. But if you were to put that thing up against any weak enemy, that's coming at you in a swarm wave, that's just going to chain react onto like literally everything else. That is insane. 350. Oh my god. The AoE of the explosion is going to be the same range as a Shadow Archer at level 1. Bruh. Oh my god. Yeah, okay. That's probably even more broken than the Meteor of Doom. Dear God, is this his ultimate ability? Nope, that's not even the ultimate ability. For God's sake. The target has to be in range of Abraham in order for the ability to be used. Abraham will target the enemy who is in the middle of a horde for more efficiency. Okay, now that's cool. I would be very curious to see how it goes about deciding which enemy it is, especially if it's like an odd number versus an even number. If not possible, he will prioritize the enemy who is closest to the exit. That is insane. That's crazy. Wow. Look at the reference image for the Curse of Oblivion. Yeah, it basically just looks like a hellfire. Although to be funny, ironically enough, the Whirlpool of Damination, this would be a perfect reference image for this. So, but that's just my opinion. So speaking of the ultimate ability, Whirlpool of Damination with a cooldown of 60 seconds. But let me just say something real quick. This Curse of Oblivion. That is broken as hell. I love it, but oh my god, that is broken as hell. Okay, cooldown 60 seconds. Description. Abraham will spin his staff, creating a whirlpool of fire and brimstone that will last for up to 12 seconds. Enemies within a big area will get sucked into it, taking up to 7 true damage every 0.2 seconds. If an enemy dies by the ability, he will resurrect as a fire spirit for up to 10 seconds. The sucking effect doesn't work on mini bosses or bosses. The AoE of which an enemy can be sucked in is 370, the same as a Swamp Thing at level 1. Oh my god. The base AoE size is 300, same as an Infernal Mage at level 1. The fire spirits will be immune to any damage. They will shoot fireballs, dealing half of their original damage as magic damage. The fire spirits cannot block enemies, and their attack range will be 250, a little smaller than the range of a Mystic Deus. Yeah, that doesn't sound completely and utterly broken. Oh my god. Oh my god. But understandably so, the hero points cost for this thing is 3, 3, and 3. And the reference image for the Whirlpool of Damination, that is insane. Here's the reference image for the fire spirits, which is just crazy. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. I wonder where they got this image from. This image almost looks like a fairy, but it's like on fire. It's like Ignis, but if he was from Kingdom Rush Origins and if he was still on fire. And now, ladies and gents, your favorite part of every hero design. The badass hero quotes. Oh yeah, I gotta put on my deep demonic voice for this one. So the description of his voice. Abraham speaks in a deep, almost demonic voice. He exclaims the last words of his sentences, and he speaks slowly. Okay, I'm gonna give this my best shot. Hopefully I do justice to it, but yeah. Here we go. I'm gonna give my best impersonation of this guy that I can. Bow before the disciple of God. Death is not permanent. You shall be dealt with appropriately. Through fire and flames. And then the death quote is, "My lord, I failed you." Dun dun dun. So yeah, guys, this was the hero Abraham, the disciple of Yore. And his backstory, which obviously, again, like I said, I at least went through at least the first 2 or 3, 4 pages worth. Well, maybe not 2 or 3. Where did I get to? I stopped right around here, I think. Yes. So like the first 2 or 3 pages. But in any case, ladies and gents, if you guys want the full lore or backstory behind this guy, we will take requests to send it to individuals. You just have to be on Discord, and there is a Discord server where me and Rexy both hang out, so if you guys want to check that out, I will be posting a link to that Discord server invite down in the comment section of this live stream below once I'm finished up closing it and wrapping it up, which is going to be pretty much right around now. But in any case, ladies and gentlemen, give some shout out to my man King Rexy. Please make sure to go check out his other hero design reviews. He has poured so much time and effort into these. You gotta go subscribe, man. Just go subscribe to that freaking lizard Chad. I don't know why you wouldn't. Honestly, you're just gonna make me frog and angry if you don't. And then I'm gonna have to levitate out of the pond. We're gonna have to break the phone, buy a new one, re-white people. But yeah, in any case, I hope you guys enjoyed today's live stream. And if you guys want to participate as part of these hero design reviews, and you want to submit your own ideas to either myself or King Rexy, then let us know either in the chat here or down in the comment section below. We will be happy to take requests going forward. But in any case, ladies and gents, I think that's going to about do it for today's episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next YouTube live stream. Peace out.